Hi, and welcome back to Rhythm for All. This is episode 27, and this time we are going to look at, in line with what we've been doing so far, how do you take a phrase and expand it so that you get a string of expanded phrases, and then, of course, put that in the context of a time cycle. So, how do we start this? Well, first we just pick a phrase. So, for your convenience, I'm just going to give you a phrase as an example, and we are going to put that into a time cycle with 4 beats or 4 containers in them. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what's our phrase? Well, our entire phrase, the finally fully expanded version, is going to be takadim, takitadim, takadimi tam. Okay, so takadim, takitadim, takadimitam. Okay, so that's taka, which is 2, takita, which is 3, and takadimi, which is 4. And we're going to put dim between the taka and takita, another dim between the takita and takadimi, and finally we're going to end it with a tam. So that's our phrase. So if I were to just do this phrase with claps, going at a tempo of 4 counts per container. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So how would it sound? Takadim, takitadim, takadimidim. Once again. Takadim, takitadim, takadimidim. One more time. Takadim, takitadim, takadimidim. Okay. So we're going to take this, okay, and we're going to break it down into 3 separate parts. Our first part is we're going to go from, the end of the phrase. So our last part in this phrase is takadimitam. So takadimitam. That's one part. Our next part is takitadim, and our smallest part is takadim. So we're going to call these as our 3 parts, and we're going to successively join parts. We're going to string them together so that we finally reach this entire huge phrase. But we're going to start off with the very end of it. So it's going to sound like this. Takadimitam is going to come first. Then we're going to say takitadim, takadimitam. So I've added the takitadim to the phrase, and now I have a bigger phrase. So I've expanded on my little phrase, and I expand it further now. And now I say takadim, takitadim, takadimitam. So all in all, this is how it's going to be. First, takitatam, followed by takitadim, takadimitam, followed by takadim, takitadim, takadimitam. And when I put all of this together, because I'm going to say it all together, it's going to make a mega phrase, which is takadimitam, takitadim, takadimitam, takadim, takitadim, takadimitam. So that's a huge phrase. Let me show it to you again, and you can try it along with me. Takadimitam, takitadim, takadimitam, takadim, takitadim, takadimitam. Once again. Takadimitam, takitadim, takadimitam, takadim, takitadim, takadimitam. Okay. Now it's time to put it in our time cycle of 4. So how do we know where to put it, where to start? For now, let's just start on the very first clap and see where it gets us. So here we go. Takadimitam. Okay, so it's going to start with this, and this time let's do the entire thing. So, ready? Takadimi tam, takitadim, takadimi tam, takadim, takitadim, takadimi tam. Okay, once again. Takadimi tam, takitadim, takadimi tam, takadim, takitadim, takadimi tam. So if you notice, there's still some left, right? There's two little counts within the last container left, the 3 and the 4 of the last container. So what do? Well, we could just move the entire sequence 2 little counts forward. So we would start at, let's say, so we would say 1, 2 and then start. So in the 1, 2, 3, 4 of the first container, we're going to say 1, 2 and then begin. 1, 2. Takadimi dim. Sorry, once again. 1, 2. Takadimi tam. Takita tam. Takad. Oh, I'm saying the phrases wrong. Once again. Okay. So, dim and tam, separate. Okay. Once again. 1, 2. Takadimi tam. Takita dim. Takadimi tam. Takadim. Takita dim. Takadimi tam. So now, the last tam nicely comes on the clap. Let's try that again. 1, 2. Takadi. Oh, why do I keep messing this up? 1, 2. Takadimi tam. Takitadim. Takadimi tam. Takadim. Takitadim. Takadimi tam. That's one way we can sort of artificially move the entire thing. But how about if we were to make our expansion start on the very first clap and end on the very last clap? So the tam still comes in the last clap, but we start on the first one. How do we do that? Well, we're short of 2 little counts, like container counts. So we could just add that somewhere in between. So how about if we're missing just 2 little, units of time, how about we add 1 little count each to the tams? And this is why I'm keeping the dims and the tams separate. The tams will now be 3. Earlier tam and dim were both 2. Now tam's going to be 3. Dim's going to be 2. Okay? How does that sound? Let's see. Takadimi tam. Takita. So you see how it's takadimi 1, 2, 3. So the 1, 2, 3 is the tam. Takadimi 1, 2, 3. Takita dim. Takadimi 1, 2, 3. So that 1, 2, 3 I'm going to replace with a tam. And there's how it sounds. Takadimi tam. Takita dim. Takadimi tam. Takadim. Takita dim. Takadimi tam. Ah, nice. So we finish on the very last, or I should say the very first clap of the time cycle. So how did we do that? We first created a phrase, okay? We broke it down into parts and built it up from there. So we added one part and then another and then another, and then finally we have this big phrase. Now we join all these intermediate phrases that we got, intermediate expansions, and we got this huge phrase, okay? And now this huge phrase, when you put it in the time cycle, turns out we had to start, a little forward in time so that we would nicely end the tam on the first clap. So instead of doing that, which is one way, yeah, but what we did was we made some parts of the longer parts a little longer. So we made the tams from 2 into 3. And finally, what we get is, you can try along with me. Takadimi tam. Takitadim. Takadimi tam. Takadim. Takitadim. Takadimi tam. Once more. Takadimi tam. Takitadim. Takadimi tam. Takadim. Takitadim. Takadimi tam. And there you go. So, this is one way we can expand. We can take a phrase. We could have done it another way. We could have taken a little phrase and thought of what to add after that. That's another way we can do this. There are so many ways. We'll be going over them. But for now, try this out, or try to make up your own phrase, try to fit it into a time cycle. And I hope you have fun with this. See you next week. This is Rhythm for All. I'm Anirudh Venkatesh, and I will be seeing you with more rhythm next time. Bye bye.